Yeah. Hey, JB's or B, the Joss boys are in the building, and we're talking about more middle part of season 7 of Buffy and season 4 of Angel today. All right. The Killer and Me is the Buffy episode, which aired February 4th, 2003, and Soulless is the Angel episode, which aired a day later, February 5th. Did you know February 5th is a day later than February 4th? I did.
Now
Um,
that I think about it,
yeah, yeah, yeah. It makes sense.
yeah.
Uh, all right. So, let's talk about it. There's not too much to talk about in the way of like what's going on at the time because we're only covering 2 days of time. Um, All I Have by J Lo and LL Cool J. That's the number one song in America. I did not remember this song. I looked it up this morning, listened to it. Pretty good, I gotta
I'm not
say.
familiar either. It'll be the outro though.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. I assumed you were gonna have "Disarm" by the Smashing Pumpkins because every time I say
Oh,
"The Killer and Me," you.
well, I guess you're right.
I think
I'll
all I
I'll do a
have
mashup.
is it might still be number one next week, so you can hold off.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Um, the number one song in the UK, "All the Things She Said" by Fake Lesbians Tattoo. Remember them?
Mm-mm.
Oh my God, you would have loved them. They were these two girls. One's like a redhead, and one's a little short-haired brunette. Okay, and their whole thing was like they were always just about to kiss each other in all their videos and like on their in their live shows. It was like these two are fucking, I guess, but
Hmm.
I don't think they were. I think it was just to like get views.
Say their name again.
Tattoo.
Okay.
All right. But all the things she said was actually a pretty baller song, like despite all that. Um anyway. Hey, I'll tell you something. The other big thing that happened, Phil Spector murdered an actress, Lana Clarkson.
Wow.
You
Why'd
know,
you
they
do that?
lay well, I don't really know. They made that movie with Al Pacino as Phil Spector. If you want to know more about that story, but that happened like right at this time. I think the day before this episode aired.
Damn. It's a
Yeah.
sad thing.
All right. The number one movie in America, speaking of Al Pacino, is The Recruit.
All right.
Yeah. Colin Farrell as well. Number two, debuting at number two, Final Destination 2.
Ooh,
Yeah.
the best opening of the series. It'll always have that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Unless six beats it this year, right? I don't think that'll happen.
I feel like it looks bad.
Have you seen
And
something from it?
no, but I've like seen a poster and like I've read a plot description. Like nothing's exciting me
I
yet.
heard Tony Todd was coming back, even though he's dead.
Well, he's been dead the whole time in those movies.
Really?
Yeah.
That'd be a crazy retcon. He's been a ghost.
Well, he's Satan, isn't he?
I think he's just like a weird guy who, when you see him, you know bad stuff's. He's like an omen. He's like a bad omen.
Yeah. Like a black cat, but instead of a black cat, a black guy.
Oh, okay. Wow, they're really smart. I didn't think about that.
And debuting at number three, Biker Boys with a Z. And that was it was like one of these fake Fast and the Furiouses. There were a few of them after Fast and the Furious, like Torque
All
and
right.
Triple X. Yeah.
He even tried to make his own. We tried to do it again.
Yeah, he did. He sure did. All right. So this episode of Buffy is written by Druzy Greenberg, who's been with us since last season, relatively new on the staff. But he wrote 3 episodes last season. And it's directed by longtime director David Solomon, who broke his finger while directing this episode. Had to be
Oh my
taken to the hospital.
goodness.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, what scene?
I don't know.
Oh my God. I gotta figure this out.
I know.
He broke his finger directing a
I
scene.
remember there's a commentary track on this episode on the DVD. Maybe he mentions it on there. I have to go back.
That is awesome.
Yeah. All right. This February 4th, 2003. Let's do it. Logan, let's hear your thoughts on The Killer in Me.
All right. Well, Honestly, I thought this episode was sort of all over the place. I didn't really know what the fuck was happening, but we'll get
It
into it.
was, and I'll tell you what, if I may say something about this episode,
Hmm.
and I hope I can because this is the show
Feel
where I say
free to
things
say
about
whatever you like.
episodes of Buffy.
If not, it's just me talking.
I hated this one when it aired, and so I remembered it as one I didn't like. And when I tuned in last night, it grew on me a little bit. I think like I always had it in my head, like there's the thing where she turns into Warren and it's complicated. And then there's that thing with Giles. Is he the first? And it's a big red herring. And I don't know.
Or is it? Do we even get answer to that?
Yes.
We do
Well,
get answer to that. I feel like he
yeah.
sort of laughed it off, and then I feel like we were meant to just laugh it off.
They touched him.
Oh, they do touch him. Oh, I guess
They
that's what it
tackle
is.
him down.
Right, right.
But anyway, I don't know. This one it's got some stuff I like in it. It's still not my favorite or whatever, but
What if it
I
was?
liked.
That'd be crazy.
That'd be wild if I hated this episode and then all of a sudden, like on this go around, I'm going Killer and Me, The Body, Restless. Um, and I don't know. I think it's pretty emotionally rich.
We'll get into it. There's a lot going on.
Mm-hmm.
First note, we ready to get into it though?
Yeah, let's do it.
I wrote Tara and Riley in the previously on. That was very exciting. Two
Yeah,
of our old faves.
both heavily mentioned
I
this
thought
week.
Riley might come back. I was like, did Daniel tell me he was gone or not? I forget.
I did. He did send that guy
Yeah,
with like
Finn sent me
directions, right?
ass face. He called Spike
Ass.
ass face, or he called somebody
Oh
ass.
yeah,
He
yeah.
said, oh, I forget what it was. But all right, so we're at home. Giles, they're going on a trip. Giles and the girls, he's taking them off. Vi, she's freaking forgetful. We gotta clock this if she ever gets a better memory. But she leaves her notebook behind.
I think the
Does
purpose
she have
of that.
dementia?
Oh my god.
I don't know if this is like a setting up an illness.
No, I
Her
think the
voice.
purpose of Vi leaving behind her notebook is that Giles tells Dawn, "Can you grab Vi's notebook and bring it out to her?" And so it's like for later when like you're trying to think like has he touched anything?
Right.
You're supposed to remember that moment. Be like, "Wait, what the fuck was that? Why do you make Dawn do it?"
Good job by them. That
Mm-hmm.
didn't click for me, but that's very good.
Yeah.
Kennedy's staying behind.
We don't actually see Vi or Molly or the rest of them in this episode. They're just sort of
Rona
yeah.
stuffed what's her name again? My favorite.
Molly,
She stuffed Molly in the trunk.
your favorite. God.
I'm
Yeah,
stuck in
yeah.
the trunk.
They didn't want to. I guess they didn't want to pay more guest stars for this week, so we just hear what's going
That was
on out
very
there.
sloppy at the beginning, I thought. We're just like
Agreed.
mentioning names like Rona this and Vi this and this girl this, but they're not
I
saying
didn't realize Molly was so compact.
right, but they're not saying the names like they know who the person is. Like you know how like names change for you when
I
you know a
know
person
it didn't
named
feel
that.
lived in.
Not at all. It was very bad.
I'm
But
with you, but
Spike's
uh,
in the basement.
they're supposedly going on the same vision retreat that Buffy went on back in season 5 in that episode Intervention.
She
The
told them
one,
they'll see the demon and the fire and all that stuff.
yeah, she says she's gonna see like a Rasta Mama Slayer, so that's referring to the first Slayer. You know when she said, "Death is your gift."
Right. Of
Yeah.
course. Of course. And she didn't warn him about the big mountain lion.
Oh yeah,
You get
forgot about that.
that'd be scary to just stumble upon without warning.
Mhm.
And then Spike's chip starts fucking up. We gotta deal with that this episode.
Yeah,
And then we get the credits. So Kennedy stays behind, is what happens.
she claims she's sick.
Yeah, and then she says, "I was just kidding, Willow. I need you to for a secret mission. I have a bigger purpose." And then they go to the bronze and start drinking. So, did you know this band? I didn't really.
Oh, I forgot to look up the band.
Damn, they were a
I
boy band.
suck.
They were guys, right?
Yeah, they
I
weren't a
wondered if it was
boy
the
band. A boy band is a very specific thing, but it
okay.
was
I wondered if it
this.
was the Smashing Pumpkins. Though. I was like, is this a reference?
What?
I didn't fucking know. Uh, but oh, Kennedy, she says you're sexy when you pout. How about that? That's really way
She's not
to
wrong.
oh. Uh, and they talk about when a woman's gay, how you know when another girl's gay, and she goes on that whole thing, tries to like seduce Willow basically, and Willow says 3 years ago.
This was another thing that I liked in this episode. I think at the time that I watched this, I was so resistant to anyone replacing Tara. Like she had died so recently, and I was still feeling it the way Willow was, and but I really enjoyed this date at the Bronze. Like their chemistry is kind of nice, actually.
I agree. It seems like a good person for Willow's like first person outside of Tara. She's
Yeah,
passable for that. And yeah, so that's what happens there. And Spike's nose is bleeding. Who are you gonna call? Oh man, we can't
I
say that
like
ever again.
that. It's true. And ever since this episode of Buffy, I think about that anytime I hear someone say, "Who are you gonna call?"
I feel like I would never hear people say that because of that reason, because you
I
can't say
know,
it.
I
So I
know.
think he was onto something there. Willow, she talks mentions her mom. I thought that was fun. Mention of her mom that we met in one episode at like a restaurant.
We didn't, no, she was in Gingerbread.
Oh,
Remember? And
maybe that's the same rest. Maybe that's the same episode.
she was like, remember they had a conversation in the living room where she was like, I'm dating a musician.
Who Oz?
Yeah.
Oh wow. And she says that she met Tara once briefly, but
Aberdeen. The name of this band is Aberdeen. It took me forever to find that.
hmm, never heard that. You
Yeah.
heard Lady Gaga's new song Abracadabra?
No, she's got a new one.
Oh yeah, it's like Bad Romance era Lady Gaga.
Really interesting.
It's
All right.
but what's crazy is like people on the internet have been losing their mind, like very excited, like oh my god, old Gaga's back. But for somebody that fell in love with like the new version of Lady Gaga, it's sort of sad. But I am excited.
Well, no, I am excited because I like the new Lady Gaga. I like what she's evolved into as an artist, but I'm always interested in whether artists can go back to earlier variations of themselves. Like there was always the complaint, like, why doesn't Weezer sound like Weezer anymore? And then like they put out a record where like they kind of sounded like old Weezer, and it was like amazing. Like, oh, they can still sound
They
like
shut up the
that. They're
haters.
just choosing not to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
It's
like
interesting.
Taylor if she released a country album. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, I
I
wouldn't
like
mind.
that. But what was I just talking about? Oh, Lady Gaga. Yeah, you should listen to it. It's really good. I thought
I will.
it's only the one song. Maybe she'll release an album. I don't know. But what happened? We're at home. Oh, Buffy calls to get Riley to help with the thing or
She
whatever.
tries to call that fake flower shop.
Yeah, I didn't really remember that. Did he? Was that a thing that was set up?
That was a thing from I don't remember when it was set up, but it was like they needed to get in touch with the initiative at one point, and that was like the cover.
I like it. I like it.
Mhm.
I like it. We fun shot where like Spike's in the background acting up. I don't know. Kennedy mentions a few movies. She says Gone with the Wind made her horny when she was 5. She liked
Yeah.
Scarlet. So she mentioned that her Willow's freckles were lickable. I never heard that before. Lickable, she said. Anyway, she said I like the way
Well,
you talk.
I mean, you can't understand that.
I just never heard that before. Lickable freckles. I've never seen a freckle and be like, oh yeah, that looks tasty right there.
I absolutely have. I gotta say.
Never crossed my mind. And then another film, she says Moulin Rouge. She likes how Willow always turns it off at chapter 32. So it's a happy
I
ending.
love that we're referencing chapter numbers.
I like that too.
DVD chapter numbers. Insane.
That was very 2002.
Mhm.
And then she said, I even like magic because you do it, Willow. That's how much she likes Willow. It's making her like magic.
Yeah, you think it's cool, so it's cool.
Yeah. That's always a sign when you like somebody, when like shit you don't
Yeah,
even like, you start to like.
I know.
And we go home, we start to kiss each other, and then Willow turns into Warren. I was like, what the fuck is this? I thought we
Yeah.
were done with Warren. Warren's fun this episode. I feel like he's really trying to act like Willow, especially at the like one scene. I was like, you're overdoing it, buddy. But other than that, it was fun.
They this episode apparently took forever to film because they filmed every Willow scene twice. And the first half of the episode, they'd have Allison Hannigan do it first, and then Adam Bush would watch her performance and try to match it. And then later on, when she's becoming Warren more, they switched it so that Adam Bush would perform it first, and then Allison Hannigan would try to match him.
That's fun. I really liked it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh, Willow, she gets her boobs grabbed by Andrew. This is when everyone finds out. They're like, "Oh my
Oh
god!" And he
yeah.
goes to grab Warren, but it's Willow. And I couldn't tell if he was excited or not. And also, I feel like some really uncomfortable things happened between those two that I'm not really sure about. But he mentioned he's like, "I did things for you that I didn't even want to do." Like, I think he seemed like sexually, like they were doing stuff
I
that he
don't
wasn't super
know.
comfortable with.
I think
No,
it
that's what
was
I
more
picked up
like
on.
I killed Jonathan and I tried to kill a pig and shit like that.
I mean, yeah, you are right, but I don't know. It seemed weird the way he was saying it. Um, all right, whatever. And when Willow runs off, Kennedy follows her. She's gonna go fix the thing. Whatever. Spike and Buffy jump down. They fight this demon. That's all very fun. And then we get a
Oh,
call
right.
from
This is
Robson.
when they're in like the downs, the initiative facility,
Right. I guess I
which I
skipped that
thought was
part.
pretty
That
cool.
guy,
It's
I like
it's
that
like
actor, whoever that guy was.
who?
There was like a guy talking to Buffy.
The black fella?
Yeah, Riff Hutton. He played General. He was pretty cool. He felt like a
Yeah.
general to me.
I liked the whole thing down in the initiative. I like when we go to old locations that we haven't been to in a while and they're all busted. It reminded me a lot of that episode of season 4, Doomed, where they go back into Sunnydale High School after it's been blown up.
Right. We did that a few times, didn't we? I feel like
Yeah.
we kept visiting it.
Hmm.
Was Robson alive? Is this a call from Robson? Or is this
Yeah.
about Robson? Okay, I fully thought Robson was gonna die there. But he's alive. He said, "Hey,
Giles
oh
saved
yeah,"
his
because he
life.
says because they say like yeah, right before Robson saw him right before it happened. Uh, and he's like, yeah, Giles is probably dead because he was like about to die last I saw him, and they're that's when they're like, did he touch anything? Oh my god!
Yeah.
And so good for them setting that up. And then we see Giles in
He
the desert.
hadn't. They pay attention to this ever since Giles showed up in what was it? Never Leave Me or
I
Sleeper, one of
I'm
those.
not sure.
Um
But I mentioned how they were like on their way out the door as he was coming in. He didn't even knock on the
yeah.
door. Like he was at the
They were
door when they
really
were
careful
leaving.
about that. They wanted to keep this red herring alive, so they hadn't had Anthony Stewart had touch anything.
Yeah. Yeah. I was gonna make a red herring Willow joke, but it's not really worth it, I guess. Uh
That was
he,
enough.
that was enough there. I like the car ride. Xander, Anya, Don, Andrew.
Oh, delightful. I also liked Andrew begging them to take him.
Yeah, yeah. He really just wants to fit in and belong, I think,
Mm-hmm.
and play games. Games in the car.
He wants to be
I'd,
part of the group.
I'd play games in the car. What else is there to do?
I think everyone's concerned that maybe all the potential slayers have been slaughtered by Giles at this point.
But in the
But
meantime, like to kill time to get there.
God,
There was no aux cord back then. You couldn't even like play the music you wanted. You were just like listen to the radio or talk to each other.
I guess so. Yeah, he tried to play like I
License plate
Spy.
games or
Yeah,
whatever.
Ghost was another one.
I wasn't familiar with that.
I wasn't either, but I read the rules and it sounds pretty fun.
I didn't really get it. But so at one point Willow gets all sad, Willow slash Warren, and because she realizes he starts like taking over. She's like, oh, is he in control of me? Something crazy is happening. That's when he was like really overacting. I thought when he was talking to, he called her a dumb bitch. That was crazy.
Well,
Amy. We skipped over Amy.
yeah, I can't believe you skipped over Amy.
We go to like a
I,
Wiccan group. And
I,
Amy's there.
I it is a little overacty, but I sort of like it. The whole thing reminds me of I Only Have Eyes for You, but from back in season two, even using the word bitch. It's the idea of like a male actor acting feminine. You think Boreanaz did it better?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I mean, I don't really remember exactly how he was doing it, but I thought Warren was like acting as a woman, and I didn't know if I really. I mean, you're supposed to, but it was like it was overdoing it to me. But Amy's back. That was very cool to me, and she's a freaking bad guy.
This is it.
I don't know how far we're gonna go, but by the way, she looks great. That dress they put her in.
No one's a
Well, way
bigger
to go.
Amy fan than Logan Beadare. Hey, listen, Logan,
Yeah.
this right here, final appearance of Amy.
No way.
Yeah.
I thought we were leading to something.
No. We're just sort of checking in on her one last time.
Oh, you said this is it. Like, this is what we've been leading to. I thought you meant
No,
even.
no. It's like we check in on her. It seems like she's had a bit of a redemption arc. She's hanging out with Willow's Wicked group from the University of Sunnydale. Is that what it's called? UC Sunnydale? Yeah.
UC Sunnydale, University of
And,
California in Sunnydale. That's what
right,
it is.
right. Um, and it turns out no, she's still kind of an asshole. She's
Yeah,
jealous of Willow and all that. I wanted to point out that the girl who's in charge of that Wicca group in this episode is this actress Megalyn. I always her last name's like Ochikonkwe.
a chicken wonk a chicken woke.
Some there's no
Maybe for 2024 we'll say a chicken woke. Right?
great, great.
That's what we'll call her.
But I talked about her on the podcast not too long ago. Um, because and I said that she's a really good TV actor. She's kind of a journeyman. She's been on a million different shows, never for too long. But we came across her. She was a regular on that show, Damien.
Really,
Yeah, remember? Remember, she was like the main girl on
I do
Damien.
actually. Yeah,
Yeah,
now that you say that, that's one of my things I liked about it. Actually,
me
I feel
too. I
like,
think I gave her MVP.
yeah, I might have gone with your lead there. She, all right, yeah, I actually remember her, so that's pretty impressive.
Mm-hmm.
Damien, was that a show you watched?
No, no, I don't. I had never watched it. I watched that pilot just for the episode.
Oh, okay. Um, did you watch that Captain America show that we're gonna do?
Oh, Captain America and the Winter Soldier. Is that what it's called? Or the Falcon and the Winter Soldier?
Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Yeah, I did watch that.
Yeah, I think I did too. I don't remember anything about it.
I just remember it was the debut of Wyatt Russell's character.
Hmm. True. And there's like a redhead girl villain, right?
Yeah, that rings a bell, but I don't remember who.
I don't know either. Fuck, I haven't seen her since. Who cares? Willow, I wrote that. So she goes and cries by a dumpster. Do you remember this part? She's like, "Oh, I'm Warren. I'm gonna go cry by the dumpster." Um,
Yeah, I like the part where she goes to buy a gun, and she's Warren at this point. When she goes in there, I guess it's the same place like Warren bought his gun to kill Tara,
mhm.
and the gun owner is like, "How'd that work out last time?"
Would that happen? Would gun owners like know everybody? And did he know he was gonna go murder somebody? What do you mean? How did it go last time?
Well, I mean, I don't know.
That was a very
How'd it
weird
go?
scene. I don't know. I'm
I,
not.
I
I don't know if
liked
I'm into
it.
this episode. This is a weird episode.
I don't know. There's things I like about it.
There's things I like about it too.
Like I would have given it a two. I would have thought I was giving it a two, and I think it's a three.
I'm between the two. I'll rewatch. I'm sure it'll go up like every episode. Well, I wrote somehow this is weirder than what Buffy does by the dumpster. You remember what Buffy does by dumpsters?
Fuck Spike.
Yeah. Somehow crying is more normal than fucking by the dumpster. So Buffy gets grabbed by the demon. That's when they go fight each other. Kennedy talks to Amy. She's like, uh, leave Willow alone or I'll fight you. I don't know what she said. I honestly forgot. Um, and then Spike, like the monster takes Spike instead. Spike has a chip
Oh,
reaction and falls down.
I like Kennedy figures out that that Amy's full of shit because Amy refers to her as a potential slayer, and she's
Mhm.
like, I never said that about myself.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, good call. And this is where we get to Giles and we feel him. I guess you're right.
Hmm.
That's what we're doing there. Was Andrew like being inappropriate there?
Andrew was touching Giles, and Giles did say something like,
We
um,
get it, bro. Chill out.
he
Something
was
like
just
that.
like, you're all touching me, even those who really haven't earned that right.
I don't know if anyone would have earned that right, but maybe Anya.
Hey, yeah,
I
they
did
were
like her
husband
that one
and they were
episode.
husband and wife in Tabula Rasa.
That's true. That's a good episode. I forget about that one.
Classic.
Oh, and then we get the ass face. Riley said, take care of ass face, talking about Spike. And Willow shows up with the gun.
I love that Riley leaves it in her hands. Like,
Yeah.
what he tells an army general, like, you're just whatever this
You do what
girl
Buffy says.
says, you do. And the options are to remove the chip or to repair the chip. Do we find out what she chose?
I don't
Yeah,
believe so.
I don't think so either.
I think that she will remove it.
Okay, you heard it here first.
She she can't like love him and believe in him and then also keep him down. I think she has to show that she trusts him,
That's fair. But
or
he's
else
also
that doesn't make sense to me.
a soulless vampire.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that part. But he's Spike. He was still a sweetheart before. He still had like he loved Drusilla
Oh
and
wait, he
stuff.
has a soul now. Never mind.
Yeah, because he's like a nice guy. Come
He
on, what are
got
we doing?
he got in those demon trials in Africa.
Right, right. Whatever
Mhm.
episode that was. And
The end of last
we
season.
oh, we learned there's like a hex on Willow. Amy made her turn into Warren. Whatever. Uh, and
Well,
then we
Amy like made her it like her worst nightmare or something. It was like it was like the person chooses the punishment. She said.
yeah, and she's tortured by the fact she killed Warren. So that's
No,
what
she's
happened.
tortured by the fact that, well, I guess that she killed Warren, but also that Warren killed Tara.
Right, right.
Mm.
But it's about she's tortured that she's a killer, the killer inside of her. I guess I don't know. That's the name of the episode. And we're like by a bench. Was this location important?
It's the same. It's the exact same location where Warren came busting into Buffy's backyard to kill Tara.
Okay, it all looked like a very specific setup I had seen before.
Yeah,
Um, so it reminded me. There's the part where Glory's on the bench with Tara, sucking her brains out. Remember? That's on the
holding her
bench,
hand, making her bleed.
and
So
Willow
good.
like runs up.
Yep, tough love from back in season 5.
Is that the one that ends like the house blows up at the end, and they're like after Tara?
Yes, yes, it is.
That's good shit. Willow is she like Kennedy gets called a bitch and a slut by
Yeah,
Willow. That's crazy.
well, Warren's mad misogynist, bro.
He really is. Uh, and then she kisses her, and then she's like, "Oh, I am good at kissing. I turned you back into Willow with just my kissing. I'm very good. Let's go see what else I can do with my mouth." And then she's like, "Let's go get some tea." So they go inside.
Okay.
So it all worked out.
Well, that did, yeah.
But dude, I don't know how I feel about this episode. There's a lot going on. I was sort of confused for a lot of it.
I don't know. Yeah, I think this might play better on a rewatch. I'm not like the biggest fan of it, like I said, but I don't know. I could see where the characters are all being put into place, and I like some of the character arcs that are happening. Um, that said, like
Seems
it
like set
does,
up for the next episode, sort of.
it feels like sort of a side quest.
Yeah. Well, I'm interested in the Buffy Spike chip thing. That's really forwarding there.
Yeah,
Uh, and I'm glad that Josh brought this up. The theory about Giles was that last week. It was like because I never even thought about this, or maybe
yeah.
it would have been cool to not think about it and then go into this. I don't know. But for the ranking, I put it 103 between lessons and blood ties.
All right. Uh, I feel like I want it sort of around those like middle episodes from this season. Where do I have like
Him,
Never Leave Me? No, him I like.
Never Leave Me is 108 between Listening to Fear and Flooded. Ahead of it from the season is Bring on the Night. Below it, Sleeper.
All right. I think I like it more than Never Leave Me, but less than Sleeper. Or but less than Bring on the Night. So what do I have in between those two episodes?
So ahead of Leave Never Leave Me, Listening to Fear, All the Way, Hell's Bells, Wrecked, Gone, Bring on the Night. That's it.
I sort of like it near you could put under Hell's Bells.
All right, so your new 106. And it
I
was
got lower
my
than you.
wait, really?
Yeah.
Oh, mine's 103. Yeah, you're right. Well, it's just the difference. I don't know.
All right. Let's talk about Angel.
Who's the MVP and LVP?
Oh, right. Fair enough. MVP. Go with like,
I'm gonna go with Willow.
yeah, that's fine. And LVP is uh God, I would have said Kennedy, but she's all right. I don't know. Dawn.
That's what
Feel
I
like
was thinking because she does the least.
yeah,
But she's good. She's fine.
she's fine. She just doesn't have much to do.
Yeah, I'll agree. Sorry, Dawn.